We are looking at industry analysis. As you're aware that I've been giving you lectures on the topic of entrepreneurship, today's topic is rather more important and critical because it is one of the backbones of entrepreneurship. So we have discussed what is an entrepreneurship, that was an introduction to the topic. And then we discuss what is opportunity and how do we come up with the idea and concept of a new business model. Then we discuss what is a feasibility analysis. And when we discuss the feasibility study, we discuss first we have to analyze our product or service, then we have to analyze the industry, then we have to analyze the organization, and then we have to come up with some kind of financial study or financial analysis. So these are the four things that we analyze before we go for our business model and we go for our concept statement. Yeah. But when we discuss the industry analysis, we have to look at the very first thing, whether the industry is accessible or not. What it means that whether industry has all the infrastructure in place for the new entrants or the newcomers or not. Sometimes industry is suffering from the regulations such as protectionism, as Donald Trump has imposed embargo and tariffs that will prevent many new entrants to enter the industry. And similarly, it's not only the regulation, there could be infrastructural problem that the industry is not ready. If you discuss Pakistan, if we talk about marble in Pakistan, unfortunately due to poor infrastructure, new entrants don't want to invest in this industry, marble industry. So that's the thing, that first as an entrepreneur you have to look at the industry, whether the industry is accessible or not. The second thing, whether the industry is ripe for innovation. Means what, if industry has developed enough that we have built on top of something and we are on the path of creativity and innovation, and we are not doing the basics. So once we come to the point where we look at innovation, means there's already infrastructure foundation in place on which we can build on top and provide value to the customer. So that's the second thing when it comes to the industry analysis that you want to do. The third one is the attributes of the industry. If there are any attributes in the industry which prevents the industry from negative forces, meaning is the industry too weak? For example, if we talk about the existing industries in Pakistan, all of a sudden if there is a price hike or inflation, maybe the industry cannot survive because of the higher rental cost. Maybe the factories collapse and they cannot pay out all the bills. So if industry is powerful enough and it has attributes to survive the hard times, be it the rent, be it any other form of inflation or any other form of pressure, that's something you want to look at. That if we enter this industry and tomorrow if any change comes unexpected, maybe a very big revolutionary change or maybe destructive change, you won't be able to survive or stand there. So that's the third thing that you want to look at. Okay. Moving on to firm level analysis. After you have looked at, you have asked this question, whether the industry is accessible or not, whether the market is ripe or not, whether the industry have the right attributes, you come to what firm level analysis. And that's something we have already discussed in the feasibility study, that how do we look at our firm, what assets it has, and I propose most of the time the McKinsey model, which talks about that when you're diagnosing your organization, you look at hard side and the soft side. You look at strategy, what is strategy that you have, and that would be the hard side. What systems that you have, that's again the hard side. What structure do you have, that's again the hard side of the firm. And when we discuss the soft side, what staff you have, whether you have got enough number of people, what skill set you have, meaning what expertise and core competences you have, what style do you have, is it democratic management, is it an autocratic management, or is this different type of management. And comes what shared values, what values of the companies are there. Okay, this is the firm level factor analysis where you analyze the firm based on the different factors. Okay, comes next is what industry level factors. Now we have understood that we have diagnosed our organization, whether we are ready to deliver our product or service to the market with the right amount of staff, with the right type of skill set, with the right management style, with the effective strategy in place, with the systems in place, and with the right structure there, with inimitable values. Comes industry analysis, where you can do the pastel analysis, where you look at the political forces, you look at the economic forces, you look at the social forces, technological forces, environmental forces, and the laws. This is the industry level factors that you want to look at. Yeah, when you're doing the industry analysis. Why is it important? Because you're looking at the broader picture. You will be the part of this industry. So treat an industry like a human body, and you will be the part of this body somewhere. You'll be the part of this anatomy. Yeah. So you want to understand that whether you fit in, you're compatible with this industry, and it's not the strengths that will make you compatible. It's your weaknesses that will make you compatible to this industry, whether you are absorbed by the industry or not. So that's the second thing that you want to do before you take an initiative when you are entering an industry. Now, when we discuss the environmental analysis, where I've already gone through the industrial analysis, these are the two same things almost. You see? So, environmental analysis, of course, it's exactly the same thing as we are discussing is about pastel analysis. So, here industry can be sort of a emerging industry, fragmented industry, mature industry. This could be the attribute of the industry, but keeping in view all these environmental forces, you have to look at the industry. Comes business trends, whether the industry is doing well or not, just because of Donald Trump's tariff. Right now, many industries have been affected. So, whether the industry has been profitable or has been going in loss, it depends. How do you see it? Just look at some of the industries during the pandemic, they did very well. If you talk about the Silicon Valley giant, all these giants, Facebook, Amazon, and e commerce giant, they made billions because the web consumption went very high during the pandemic. People started using web and they started playing video games. So some of the industries were very profitable during that business trend, and some of the industries went really down and they were literally wiped out. Some of the industry. Um, Moving on, after looking at all these factors in the industry, we want to look at Michael Porter's five forces model. So we don't want to restrict ourselves just to the environment and the business trend. And how do we look at the industry? We want to look at five forces business model by Michael Porter. So what Michael Porter says, Michael Porter says the very first force to the market is new entrant. What do we call it? New entrant. Someone who is entering the market can pose a serious threat to your business. So if I'm initiating a business today, I have a unique business model. Maybe I'm a ride hailing, company. There will be another one who is thinking about this. So for example, there was already Uber and Kareem, and comes InDrive, which brings a new value to the customers, that they allow you to negotiate the price with the rider. you know so that's an addition. So new entrant will always come up with something additional, something of more value to the customers that you have not tried in your business model. And it's very difficult to reshape the business model or reset the business model for the customers once you are in the market and you have established yourself. The second force that we see in the market, according to Michael Porter, is what? Buyers. Your customers have the power to drive you out of the market. Given the fact that uh, purchasing power lies with them, they have the power that they can drive you out of the market if you do not satisfy their need or for any reason they are unhappy. So recently we have seen that there have been big protests, demonstrations against the international chains in Pakistan. That could be one of the examples that can be used. For whatever reason the customers are angry, they can take it out on you. So that's something we have seen, and there have been a boycott of many products around the world. And why is that? Because like customers can drive you out of the market. So customers have the what do you call it, power to give a hard time to the businesses, and it could be of any reason. They're not happy with the customer service, or maybe there's some political reason behind it, or there could be any other sentiment related to that. So that's another factor, that the buyers or the purchasers have the power to boycott the businesses, existing businesses, for whatever reason. Comes suppliers. Suppliers, as we see, also have enough power to sort of like drive you out of the market, to drive the businesses out of the market. So when you're doing the industry analysis, you have to see whether the suppliers are reliable or not. Because if you jump into the water, you start your own business, you have already invested, and you find out that there are not enough suppliers, or maybe there is not uninterrupted supply of the raw material which is required by you. So suppliers can be the part of the monopoly sometimes, or there could be political motivation behind it. They can stop selling you the parts, as it has happened in the case of F-35 when Turkey and America had some kind of tensions, and they actually relocated the production from Turkey. I think there was some parts made in Turkey. So that could be another factor, that suppliers from XYZ country, based on certain factors. Just look at the chip war, semiconductor war between America and China. China is not able to acquire or procure semiconductors from certain countries, especially from Taiwan, because America has imposed some restrictions on that. So suppliers can literally drive you out, and it could be any reason. As we have seen that there have been international boycott of the products and services of Western products and services. So that could be anything, any of these factors. Okay. And then comes what the next one is substitute. Someone who is not exactly selling the product like you have, but the product that is close enough, they are sort of like identical enough, not identical, but like say close enough. Substitute. So if I'm not going for Uber, I can go for Kareem. There's a substitute. If I'm not going for Kareem, I can go for InDrive or maybe Yango. That's a substitute. So the power lies there, that there is some substitute in the market. If you don't want to use Apple, you can use Samsung phones. So that's a substitute. If you don't want to use sugar, you can use molasses. So that's a substitute. So yeah, that's another thing, that if you have enough substitute. Oppo has become so powerful in Pakistan and third world countries that people are boycotting, or not boycotting, but they are refusing to buy the expensive phones like Apple. So that's another example. And comes the last one, that is what we have understood: new entrants, buyers, suppliers, substitutes, and the last one that is left is your competitors. Of course, you will have your competitors always in the market, and if these competitors are powerful enough, they can literally annihilate you. They can drive you out of the market. They can end your business. So as we have seen, Nokia used to be the market leader, but comes the competitor, and they came up with the smart technology, Apple phone, and they literally drove Nokia out of the market. Now comes different types of industries that we have to understand after doing this analysis of the market forces. We see there are certain industries which are emerging. So what we see currently, artificial intelligence is an emerging industry, and all the countries around the world, they are investing in it. We have seen the Gemini launched by Google. We have ChatGPT. We come up with the new version of artificial intelligence, DeepSeek, by China. That's an emerging industry. Electric vehicles is an emerging industry. Apart from electric vehicles, and we see metaverse is again an emerging industry, and people are investing in that. So we see emerging industries are the one which are picking up right now, are becoming popular. Fragmented industries which are spread over, which are all over the country, which are in different locations, and it could be clothes chains, retail chain outlet, or maybe food chain outlet. That is the example of what fragmented industries. Mature industries which have reached the peak and they cannot expand anymore, and mature industries, automobiles, electric vehicles will be placed here, emerging industries. But when we discuss simple automobiles, that will be placed here, mature industry. It is not. Or maybe fast food chains, say McDonald's, they are not expanding anymore. That's mature industry now. Yeah, there's no innovation left anymore unless they come up with some kind of local flavors. But that's declining industries. If we have seen the print media, especially like newspapers, it does not exist anymore, is gone now. declining industry, video cassettes, audio cassettes, all these things have declined. Global industries which are very powerful all over the world, say aeronautical industry, say Boeing and Airbus, they're all over the world. It could be about, say, Facebook and all, so software companies, that's global industries. What else? Tourism can be in the global industry as well. Yeah. So when you're doing the competitor analysis after looking at different type of industry, what industry you're entering in, there could be some direct competitors, there could be some indirect competitors. So when we discuss the direct competitor, they're selling the exactly identical product that you have. Indirect ones sell products which are close enough. They look like the ones that you have, but that's not exactly what they're selling. And future competitors are the one who are planning to come up with the products which might look like what you're selling, and that's about the future. They have not entered the market, so they can be either direct or indirect competitor for you. So that's all for today, that when we are doing the feasibility study, we have to look at the product and service analysis, industry analysis, organizational analysis, and financial analysis. And industry analysis is the backbone of the feasibility analysis, because we are looking at the broader picture and we are trying to enter a particular segment of the market where we want to sell. So I hope this lecture will help you. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you with the new lecture. Thank you.